Refresh. Live chat. We want the live chat. And why am I still not going? Hold on. Need to fresh again. All right, there I am. And the sound is off on the laptop. We got live chat. And we're good. Hello. Let's see. Whoop. Oh, there's one more person on here. I can't quite. Okay, so we got Tracy and Carol and Terry and Yvonne. She's actually in the kitchen and she's cooking. She's putting together our dinner, so we're doing a taco, like a taco bake type of recipe that I found out on Pinterest. So we're going to give that a try tonight. And so, what's been going on? Well, been pretty busy. Yesterday, was it yesterday? Yes, yesterday I had started working on the projects that we are doing tonight. Now, if you had noticed, so I think it was like Tuesday that I had recorded not one but two videos, my Throwback Thursday and the was it the monthly Christmas card inspiration video. And I had it all done. I actually didn't go to bed till like 2:30 in the morning. And I also had things that I had to do, a lot of things work related that I had to get done on Wednesday. So to say I was exhausted, yes. But I got the videos done. Okay, they were scheduled to go on Thursday morning between 4:45 and 5 a.m. for the two of them. And it wasn't until later on in the morning when Yvonne was laying there, she was gonna watch my videos. She said, well, I don't know, maybe it's my phone, but I don't hear no sound. And so I even checked it on my laptop. There was no sound. I can't have a video with no sound. So literally, I do not know how to take a video that I've already recorded and posted it out on YouTube and then go back and then, do what do you call it? The voiceover for it. I don't know how to do that, so I literally had to recut all the stuff and redo the video all over again. So of course that took up about half of my day. We had to run up the street to the store really quick, but yeah, it took a good chunk of my day away that I had to go and redo it because I couldn't leave videos out there that had no sound. So there were things that I've said that nobody would have even known, like the product that I was using for these videos, whether, it was gonna be on the last chance, if it's discounted, all that stuff. And one of them, actually, one of the parts to it was now gone for good. So, yeah, I literally had to go and redo those videos. And then after I got done with those, then I had to get into doing what we are doing tonight. And then I had one more card I had to do today because I just didn't have, it was already late at night by the time I got done with those. So yeah, that's what's been kind of going on. New Year's Eve, we were here. We don't go nowhere. Um, did watch the ball drop in Times Square. Being from New York, that's the one I always watch, even though I am in Central Time Zone, so it's not until another hour before it hits midnight here. But I'll tell you that when it hit about midnight, that was about the time I went to bed. And then at that point, I kind of had my TV up a little bit louder because, yeah, the fireworks and the gun shooting were a little insane. Now, fortunately, it didn't last as long as it normally does in past years, but it is very frustrating. It's very annoying, and it's one of the reasons why I just wish it would rain and downpour on both New Year's Eve and 4th of July because I don't like it. The gun shooting especially because there's been a lot of reports even um within like Memphis where a woman had said that, she was getting ready for bed and then a bullet came through her bedroom wall. And it's like, stop, people, stop. And I don't know why. I mean, they shoot these things up in the air. They do realize it does come down. It's going to hit something. Or if they shoot just randomly wherever, it's going to hit something or somebody. So yeah, it's just I don't like it. And unfortunately around here, it kind of sounded a little bit close. So I don't know. These people, there's a lot of things I could say, and maybe I shouldn't because this is PG, right? Um, what else? So all of the stuff that I needed to get done for my coworker. So these little angels that I had made, those little ornaments I did for the women's Christmas dinner at my church. Uh, all of theirs are taken care of. I got all my calendars done. Their Christmas cards are done. They're all packaged up and ready to go on Tuesday when I actually go in again. What else? Project wise, like I said, everything kind of got caught up. Very proud of Yvonne. She did get her Christmas cards, oh, and past birthday cards out, and also a package for a friend that all got mailed out. So she's kind of caught up on things as well. And now we're in the new year, so now it's time to start all over again on, with between the birthday cards and all that. And I've told her that this year it needs to be different. I need to be well ahead of everything. So then that way, when we hit December, I can just kind of sit back and chill a bit instead of having to stress about this, that, and everything else that needs to get done. So, but other than that, that's all that's really been going on. Um, and Froggy's here. Yep, there's Froggy. So I hope everybody has had a nice New Year's. Hopefully it wasn't as eventful as it's been around here. But yeah, so I'm very messed up on what day it is because I've had, been working from home for the past 2 weeks, and really with the holidays, I just really don't know what day it is. But it has to be Friday because here I am doing this live. Now, what I decided that I'm going to do, that for the month of January, we're going to give this a try. And I am going to go live at 6 p.m. rather than 7 Central. Okay. And we'll see how the starting the hour earlier works out. And if it works out great, then I will then keep it at 6 p.m. Let's see. What else? I do have two more Christmas cards that have shown up since we were last together. Let's see. Anything else? I don't know if there's anything else. I don't think there's anything else. I do have a couple of things to show you that's coming up, that Stampin' Up is going to be doing. Not a whole lot, but things that are coming up. My newsletter, still gonna have to work on that. I won't have that finished and out until Stampin', I think was it maybe next Tuesday when, we got what's new in the kits and maybe what the new product of the month is going to be. So we'll see about that. I have already pulled everything that I am doing for this month. Next Friday, I believe next Friday, I will be pulling in that 12 the advent calendar. So we'll do some stuff with that advent calendar, which I think is still available and is not on low inventory. Um, I'll take a quick peek. Yeah, so I'm going to do that uh, next Thursday. I'm going to do the Builder Blossom stamp set. That's the one that's in the current holiday mini catalog. Standalone stamp set. At first, when I saw that, I thought, I wasn't going to get it, but then I saw cool projects being done with it. So, yeah, I ended up getting it. So, um, yeah, that's going to be next. That's going to be next Thursdays. Yeah, the advent calendar is on the last chance list, still at the regular price of $99, and it's not on low inventory, so it is still available. Um, but yeah, I've gotten my new planner, and I've already written stuff in it, and so all good to go. I will tell you that Hobby Lobby was very skimpy on what they had left when I went in there to get a planner, but I did find one. I started writing in it, and that's good. As far as, one of the things that I do, I write in my planner, like, when I hit the beginning of the month, I'll put how many subscribers I have, and then I'll put whether, did I gain any, lose any. I'll tell you what, I don't know if YouTube is playing around or what, but I can't seem to get past 578, and I have dropped down like 5 subscribers. So I don't know if they're doing something. I can tell you that I don't know. Even that night, I don't know if you rewatched the Thursday videos that I did. It's interesting because I haven't changed up how I set things up to start recording. And it was interesting that when I had to flip my phone just to kind of get it started, because even though I changed the orientation, it still wants me to change the orientation. And I don't know why it does that. But when I flipped it, and for some reason, it was changing the orientation. However, when I hit that little button that's on the top right hand side of my phone that flips it, for facing me to facing, the opposite direction, right underneath it is where the microphone is. And I'm wondering if I didn't accidentally hit that and that's why I didn't have no sound on those videos. I don't know. It happened on both of them. I mean, it recorded okay. It's just I had no sound. So, of course, I had to redo them. So, if you would like the original one, please like the other one. Those other ones are now, they're now gone. I deleted them right after I got done with the new one and posted that one. All right. So, I am going to flip this over. I'm going to show you a couple of things that's coming up, and I'll show you those 2 Christmas cards that I got and what we are going to be working with tonight. So let me go ahead, take this and flip it and kind of get it all set up here. And we'll bring it down a little bit, and hopefully we don't have it focusing in and out. Let's make sure that we are straight here and we're level. Okay. Move this down a little tiny bit. All right, so I think we're good there. Oh shoot. Yvonne, can you do me a favor? I forgot I need some water. Can you put just a little bit of water in that? We're going to be doing some splattering again with that white gold watercolor paint that I have. It's perfect for the projects that we're going to be doing. Yeah, that's fine. Thank you. All right, so let me put that over there, and hopefully we don't knock that over. I'm going to move that out of the way. Okay, so what is happening? What's coming up? So bonus days is coming up. It is going to go from January 6th to February 2nd, your birthday, Froggy. Um, so for every $50 that you spend, you're going to earn a $5 coupon. So when it comes to this, make sure that you do have a profile, like a customer profile set up in the Stampin' Up website. You do need to have your email address in there as well, because after you place your order, Stampin' Up is going to send you an email and it's going to have a coupon code. So if you place, say, for example, if you place a $150 order, you will get an email that will give you 3 different coupon codes. And for every time that you place an order during this time frame, you will continue to earn the coupon codes when your order is $50 or more. Um, from from there, there's no limit as to how many you can earn. So that happens between January 6th and then February 2nd. And then the redemption period is going to be for the most of the month of February. So February 3rd to the 28th, in which you can redeem those coupons. You can redeem all of them in one order, or you can split it up and you can put it towards more than one order that you place in the month of February. The product of the month, they have not come out with what the new product's going to be for January yet. I'm figuring they're probably going to let us know on Tuesday, because that's usually when the all the weekly updates come out. So as far as I'm aware, that this true blues, the true blues paper, is that what true blue florals? I can't keep track. I can't keep track of True Blue Florals Designer Series paper. So I haven't seen that this paper is no longer available. It's still available for $5. Again, product of the month. When you spend at least $75, and this is after you have applied any Stampin' Rewards or coupon codes, and before the tax and shipping is added onto it. It is limited to one per person. So even though when on your order, what is it, your shopping cart, you'll notice that there is a notification up at the top that says product of the month. It lets you know, oh, you're almost to the amount. And then once it hits like that $75 in your cart, there's a button that says shop now. And when you click on that, it's going to kind of take you to a page that says product of the month. You click on it, it's going to bring it up and you can add it to your cart. Now, even though you may have already ordered and you have redeemed to get this package of paper, you're still going to see that product of the month banner up at the top of your shopping cart. So even though you already redeemed it, if you try to redeem it again, well, it's going to tell you that, okay, you've already reached the quantity limit for it. So again, the December one is still available. January's, like I said, I think they're going to announce what that's going to be next Tuesday. So they said that it's not always going to be like, say, on the first of the month, but it would be early in the month. And of course, as demonstrators, we don't get to a preview. There's no pre-order. There's no nothing when it comes to product of the month. So we're just as surprised as you are when they announce what that is going to be. The virtual card retreat that's going to happen January 22nd to the 23rd. Um, you're going to make 15 cards with this retreat. The products that are in this, There is a bundle that is going to be in a future publication, so I'm guessing the annual catalog. These embellishments right here, these are currently available. These are in the online exclusives. You're going to get envelopes, basic white cardstock, some small flip flaps. There is designer series paper that is exclusive to this retreat. All the paper is single-sided. On the back, kind of has your cutting instructions on the back of it. What else? So the price of this in the US is $165. In Canada, it's $225. Um, they say it's kits are only available while supplies last. As far as I know, the kit is still available. It's not on low inventory. So between January 22nd and 23rd, it's going to go from 2 to 9 p.m. Mountain Time. So that's a good chunk of the day that they're going to do this for those 2 days. When you purchase the kit, that's how you are registered for the retreat. After you have paid for it, Stampin' Up is going to send you an email. It's going to have a link that will take you to the exclusive Facebook page in which they're going to have this event. If you're not able to be there when they go to do this live, that's fine. You are still going to have access to watch the replays on them. They have it figured out somehow where on Facebook usually videos only last for so long, but it looks like that these videos will be they'll be available for like forever. We'll see, but I'm still kind of like on the fence if whether or not I want to do this. All these cards, they are, from what they explained, they are like fun fold cards. And there's a lot of different cool techniques that they are doing with this as well. And again, the bundle is going to be available at some point, but then there is an additional stamp set that is exclusive to this event. And then Paper Pumpkin, this is the one that's for January special delivery. So this one kind of has like some postage stamp details in it. It's got this really cute box. And then the new dies that coordinate with the January, February, and March kits. What is this? Beautiful Blooms dies. They are $13 here in the US. Item number is 168666. Um, you don't need them to complete the projects in the kit. This is just for doing additional stuff with the products, maybe in the kit or without the kit. You do need to be a Paper Pumpkin subscriber in order to get these dies. One thing that I will make mention about regarding Paper Pumpkin, so in our weekly updates, earlier this week, Stampin' Up in the starter kit when you join Stampin' Up as a demonstrator in your kit you get to choose like $125 in product for 99 plus tax. The shipping's free. In addition, you get the business supplies, like do they do order forms? I don't know if they do order forms or if you can print those out, but you get a package of the current catalogs. One of the other things that they included in there was a sample of a sample kit of a past paper pumpkin. In our last updates, they did mention that they were not going to be putting a past paper pumpkin kit in the starter kit. They were going to be doing something else in regards to informing new demonstrators about how paper pumpkin works and all that. So, um, yeah, so that's something that they did make mention about that. And with that, that's those announcements. I will make mention that this is now number 100 as far as PDFs go in my on my Google Drive. So in the description, just above the list of supplies, there is a link that'll take you to where all of my PDFs are from all my past and current Friday Night Lives. In here, you got the list of the supplies, there's pictures, there's dimensions, any special notes that are, for that cardstock or the paper. That's all included in it. It's free. You can download it and print it out if you like the projects. And what's really nice about these, this right here, the date, there's that if you click on that, it will actually bring you back to this video right here, so you can follow along. So with this, I did notate on the second card to refer back to the video to try to explain the things that you have to do. It would just be very long-winded, so watching the video does help. So this is already done. This is already out there. And again, this is number 100. So, wow, it's been a lot of work. It's been more than a year's worth because I started back in January 26th of 2024. So it's gone for it's gone for more than a year now. So this is currently out there. Okay, so cards, let me show you what I got here. So, like I mentioned, Yvonne was really good. She got her cards done. So this one is from her. Um, I think I don't, well, wait a minute. I think the only thing, now she can correct me if I'm wrong. Um, I think the only Stampin' Up thing is this cardstock. Is that Starry Sky, I think? Because none of the other stuff looks familiar. So, but yeah, she got all her cards done. I'm so proud of her. Okay, and then another one that I got is from a customer of mine, from Melody, and she did a really awesome job on this. I love the cherry cobbler with the old olive, and she's got some gold on there, and did a layer inside. Very, very nice. Thank you so much, Melody. Nothing is SU. Okay. So Yvonne's card, nothing on here is Stampin' Up. Okay. That just looked like, that almost looked like Starry Sky. That's why I thought maybe that was it. All right. So what we are using tonight. So we are using light, nope, the Aurora, Lights of Aurora suite. Let me get everything here that's part of this. I think I got it all. And actually, this is on the last chance, but let me bring it up because um I think the designer series paper is the only thing that is not on the last chance list. So yeah, the paper, the designer series paper, yeah, it's 6x6. This is still available. It is not on the last chance. It's not marked down. In here you have like Azure Afternoon, Balmy Blue, Basic Blackberry Burst, Blackberry Bliss, Gorgeous Grape, Highland Heather, Lost Lagoon, Petunia Pop, Pool Party, and it says very vanilla, but to me, I don't know, that looks more white to me than very vanilla. The Balmy Blue Sheer Ribbon, the ribbon, and again, these prices that I'm giving you, these are all for the US. The regular price of this was $8.50. This is on last chance. It's been marked down to $6.80, so it's a nice, pretty sheer ribbon. The frosted iridescent dots. These were regularly $9 on Last Chance for $8.10. And then there is the Light and Wonder bundle. So your stamp set has a bunch of greetings. You know, your script words here are of a larger size, and then you have your print. And then the dies are a really fun set of dies. These don't per se, like this tree here, and then you got this one that does like a mountain. This one does another like layer to a mountain. They do not cut on the very bottom, so if you, when you line it up on your piece of cardstock, you're going to cut more like towards the top of your cardstock, and then the bottom is not going to cut. You can see there's no cut line, you know, underneath these things here. So it's only going to cut the top. The clouds, these will actually cut the full cloud out. So as far as the stamp set and the dies go, um, don't, if this is something that you want and you haven't gotten it yet, do not use the item number for it as being a bundle. You're going to save a whole lot more. Excuse me. You're going to save a whole lot more by purchasing the stamp set and the set of dies separately. So the stamp set was regularly $19. It's again Last Chance and on sale for $17.10. And then the Light and Wonder set of dies, those two on the Last Chance were 38, and they've been marked down to 34.20. So you will get hold on. I'm pretty sure you're going to save. Hold on, because it's 10% when you get the bundle. So let's see, where is the stamp set? 17, 10, 34. Well, actually, let me back that up and say do the bundle, because when you add up the stamp set and the set of dies, even though they're marked down, it's actually going to be 5 cents more than the 51.25 as what the discounted bundle price is going to be. So in this case, it's actually a little bit cheaper by actually getting the bundle. So again, everything in this suite is on the Last Chance and marked down, except for the designer series paper. Okay, so now that we have done that, and hello Becky, Happy New Year. Um, and there's Miss Andrea. Hello. And oh, I forgot her card. Assistant. Hello, assistant. Can you bring me Andrea's card? It's on that table by the door. The things that I don't think of before I go live. Because, of course, I'm showing all the cards. I got to show the card from Andrea. So, this is the card from Andrea. Very simple. Very quick and simple. Most likely, you know, Andrea, I may case this card maybe next month for my monthly Christmas card inspiration. So the Merry Christmas is the standalone stamp set that was in the ad assistance. That's in the holiday mini catalog. This one too. Did they mark this one down? Is it even still available? But I like the simplicity of this one. This one is definitely one that you can kick out some cards in like no time. And I don't think and actually I don't even see it coming up, so it looks like it's probably already gone and sold out because I don't see it. But yes, I love how this one came out, Andrea. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, now let's get going on this. I will tell you that the second card, which was actually the card that I put together today, I cased it off of one that Wendy Lee had done, and I tried to do what she did, and I'm like, nope, we're not gonna do this. We're gonna try and keep this simple, but it's kind of like a little bit of a putsy card, I will tell you, as far as assembling, the layers on it. But let's see how it goes when we go to put it together. So let me bring in um, everything for our first card. So the first card is very, very simple. And what's nice about it, this paper, I mean, it's beautiful paper. And it just pulls, what do you call, oh, I just stamp that. Oh, cool. Very cool, Andrea. Um, yeah, so the paper really does all the talking on the card. So for this card, my card base is going to be a piece of basic white thick that's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4.25. I have a sheet of that, what is it called again? Lights of Aurora Designer Series paper. And this is the pattern with the Highland Heather on one side, and then you got all these colors on this side. Now, I think the way that these are supposed to work is that all of the colors kind of shoot up rather than shooting down. So that's the way I did my cards, by having all that going up. Unfortunate, and you know what? I'm looking at my card, and the sample card, and I did it the wrong way. It should have went up that way. Oh well, we'll still do it this way so you can see like all those colors. All right, and then out of a piece of basic black, so this started out as a 5.5 by 3-inch piece, and then I had used this large tree image here to die cut it. So I basically lined up the tops of these trees to the top of my piece of basic black cardstock, and then of course right here, this is the extra that was from the piece that I had cut. So we got that. And then we're gonna also, to adhere this, I didn't use any adhesive sheets. We're just gonna use our silicone brush and our liquid glue. And then for my greeting, I did Your Strength Inspires Me. I stamped this, of course, it's on a piece of basic black. I stamped it with Versamark, and I heat embossed it using silver embossing powder, and then die cut it using the textured notes dies. So there's just one long thin one here. This is the one that I used to die cut it out with. All right. So before we go and we put all this together, we are going to do some splattering. And we're going to be using, not the white ink, but we're going to use the Gansei Tombi Starry Skies. And we're going to use the white gold one again. This worked really well when I did now I can't remember what the bundle or the suite was that I used, but this worked a whole lot better than using the white ink refill, because that stuff takes like forever to dry. So let me bring in some scrap paper, so then that way we don't have this stuff splattered all over everything else. Got some pieces of my grid paper. And we'll put that right there. I got my paintbrush and my water. And let's move this over here. Just the one we're using. Put this down a little bit. I don't want it to be too watery. I want the consistency to be a little bit thicker, so then that way when I go to splatter it, you'll get some really nice sized drops. Get my bone folder. Okay, here we go. And why am I feeling this on my face? I don't want it splattered on my face. No, we don't need extra sparkles going on. And of course I'm getting water coming off of. So we got lots of stars in our sky. So let's put that aside. We'll move that. We'll move this out of the way. And we got to let that dry a little bit. Because some water did get on there. But what I'll do is I'll do this. Just take it, flip it over. And then I'll just do that. This, for the most part, it does dry pretty quick. It dries a lot quicker than that white ink. But I really love how the effect on using that. I do have a link for these watercolors down in the description. I did get them off of Amazon. All right, so now I'm going to take this tree image that I die cut, and I'm going to bring in my silicone craft sheet, and we need some glue, and we need our brush. Let's flip this over. I'm going to put a little extra glue on it because we're going to need a good amount for this piece since it's a little bit bigger. Okay. I'll tell you what, the gems are beautiful. I think that was like the first thing that I saw that I really, really liked. And in the very beginning, I don't know, I wasn't completely sold on this suite, but then it was like, yeah, who was I kidding? Before all was said and done, I ended up ordering it. The embellishments, I did get like 2 packages of those because I just really thought they were pretty. But now that they're on the last chance, I may need to get another package or 2 of them. And I am using them on all 3 projects. All right, so a little bit more. Okay. Now let's lift this up. Move that out of the way. We'll bring this in. Actually, let's do it this way. Let's put it the way it should be. Flip it up. And then I'll just line this up to my designer series paper. Make sure we're lined up here. Okay, and then we'll just press that down. Okay. And then we can trim that a little bit. Let me get wrong ones. Stick that all down. And then we'll trim it. Okay. Get rid of that. Okay, and then I'm going to get my card base here. Get that off my finger. If I place an order, I don't know when I'm I don't know, maybe next week I'll place a little order. We'll see. I don't know when I'm placing another order again. You'd probably be placing one before I would. Okay. I'm going to add glue since I'm adding this to my whole card front. I'm going to use liquid glue to adhere it rather than the seal. So then that way I don't have to tear it off if it doesn't line up. Okay. We got our card facing the right direction. And lined up. Okay, I'll press that down. Yeah, these watercolors here, these evidently these are like they're saying they're all gold, even the white. So white, yellow, red, light gold, champagne gold, and blue gold. They do have those also in colors as well. All right, so there is that part. And then we're going to take our greeting part here. And let me put it on here. And I'm going to add some seal to the back of this. My seal is acting very wonky. It's like half the time it doesn't want to go down. So I'm just taking that adhesive that was kind of sticking off the bottom edge there and just kind of folding it back. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to line it up right to the right edge here of my card. And it's not straight. Okay, press that down. And then I'm going to bring in these gems. So for the gems, I did look up like what these colors were because evidently I was wrong. So you have clear, balmy blue, that's gorgeous grape, and that's berry burst. I thought that would have been Highland Heather, but I did look it up. So when I did my PDF, I used the right color name on it. So on this one, we're going to use the gorgeous grape ones. And so there's two different sizes. These do have some dimension on them. So you may need like a piece of cardstock or something to put on top of your card if you are mailing it out. Oh, guess that my order on Tuesday when the new product of the month releases. Hey Sharon, this is still the first card. Still the first card. Okay, so these are in two different sizes and you would most likely need to add something on top of your card within the envelope if you're mailing it out because it goes through those postal machines. It's just going to tear these things right through your envelope. Okay, so I'm going to add a few of these on there and that's it on this card. This one was a very, very simple and easy card to put together, but when you look at it, it's like that designer series paper just really makes the card. And of course, when you do the silhouette using the black cardstock, when you die cut these pieces like these trees, I mean, it's just really, really pretty. So that's definitely like a wow card, but very simple to do. All right, so now let me get, okay, the second card. So the second card was the one that I worked on today. This is the one where I cased Wendy Lee, who is another demonstrator, and her card came out very pretty, but then as I was trying to put it together, I was struggling a little bit. She did use the white craft ink. Me, I'm not using that craft ink because that stuff takes forever to dry. And yeah, it's just very, very messy. So the second card, here we go. All right. There's some purple in this one. Okay, so card base is Gorgeous Grape. It's cut at 11 by 4 1/4 and then scored at 5 1/2. I have a layer of Balmy Blue that's 5 1/4 by 4. And then basic white, the same size, 5 1/4 by 4. That's going to be for the inside of our card. Then I did do some cutting ahead of time. So we're taking 3 pieces of that designer series paper. So there's the one here, the one that has like the Highland Heather background. And this is the pattern of the Aurora Borealis that we're going to use. And then there's another piece here. Now I've done some die cutting ahead of time. So there's 3 pieces of the designer series paper. All 3 are 3 7/8 by 3 7/8 by 3 inches. So there is this piece right here. There is the one with the blue, the Balmy Blue, and I used this die right on the top here to die cut that out. And then this is another piece. This one is just really dark in color. So you kind of see a little bit of Blackberry Bliss and some black in there. So when I die cut this, I am keeping this piece here that gets removed because we're going to be using this as a mask to kind of do a shadow in our water here. So this piece too is 3 7/8 by 3 inches, and I had die cut. There's 2 sets of trees here, so these are the smaller ones here. So that's been die cut. Then I have a piece of the white velvet paper that's 3 7/8 by 2. I have die cut that using, there's this one die here that does your mountain. Okay, now the velvet paper, I'm trying to think if that was in the catalog or if that was in the online exclusives, but the paper is called All Season Velvet 12 by 12 specialty paper. So you get it, how many sheets were in here? There were 6. So you got 2 each of green, red, and white. So this is actually the first time that I've opened this up and used it. So you got a really, really pretty red, and then there's a nice dark green in there as well. So like a shaded spruce green. So I have brought this in to go and do my mountain. So again, that piece was 3 7/8 by 2, and then I just die cut using this kind of like this mountain shape. And then another piece of the paper where you've got the Highland Heather on the one side. This measures 3 7/8 by 1 1/2. And then there is a detail part for the mountain. So this is that piece right here. And I kind of lined that up at the top like so, and then just ran that through and die cut that. So this is going to layer on top of our velvet piece. All right, so that's all our pieces. So let's start off. We'll fold and burnish our card base, and then we'll add the inside piece of our basic white. Okay, adhesive. The DSP. Yeah. Yeah, I actually, why is this being fussy? It's also wanting to go off the track. All right. I had noticed too that with this refill, that typically you don't see like little pieces of it. But it's, I don't know, it's just being weird. Being weird. All right. So let's put this inside. Okay. And then, let's see. Do we want to... Let's put that aside for a moment. We're going to take this piece right here. And yeah, this is the direction we want. We'll add this to our layer of Balmy blue. All right, so we want these to go facing up. And there's going to be a very small border of that Balmy blue. Okay, so this is going to be the top, because now we're going to build all this other stuff on there. So I'm going to put this aside for a moment. Okay, so then on this piece here, we're going to do a little stamping on this one. So let me get my Stampin' Pierce mat. Put that under there. I am going to bring in this, let's see, we want Embrace the, and then I'm going to do Wonder. On her, she did Embrace the Magic. I'm going to change it up and use Wonder. And I'm going to stamp this in my tuxedo black ink. So let's pull Wonder out and Embrace the. Okay, set that over there. Let's get some blocks. I desperately need to clean these blocks. You can see I got some of that watercolor kind of splattered on there. All right, so I am going to stamp the Wonder first. I want to ink this up really well. Let's just do it again. And then I'm going to stamp this right down here on the bottom. Okay. And then Embrace the. We're going to put that right there. Kind of like between that W and the D. All right. Then I'm going to bring in my Secret C ink, and we're going to need some scrap paper. So let me bring this piece in like so. Okay, and then so do I want to say the negative part of what I use to die cut this piece with the trees? So we're going to create, this is our water part, we're going to create a shadow of these trees on the water. So this is how the pieces were together. Okay, so this is going to layer right behind this, like so. Yeah, like so. So what I want to do is I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to flip it over like so. Okay. And I'm going to line this up. Okay, straighten that up. All right, and I'm going to kind of let me put a block on here just to hold that for a second. I'm going to open this up and get my blending brush. And let's ink this all up. Okay, now I'm going to hold this down. Now, thing to be mindful of, this is the designer series paper that we're using as this mask. So it's going to be thinner. So when you're blending, you want to kind of go with the light touch because you don't want to end up pulling up and bending those parts, those loose parts of the tree. So what I'm doing is I'm going to add my ink and I'm just going to brush down or brush up actually. I like the effect that she had about the shadow. The only problem was that yeah, she added white ink over it and it's like, yeah, I tried doing that and that was nothing but a big hot mess. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing that. So I'm just adding some ink here. Okay, and then we'll lift this up. Okay, and then what I want to do, I'm going to add a little bit more right here on this part. Just kind of make that part dark. Okay, so there we go. So there is our shadow in our water. And actually, I'm going to get rid of that piece so we don't get ink all over everything. Okay. Now, here's the fun part, figuring out how we're going to put this all together where it's easy breezy and it doesn't look like I don't know what I'm doing. All right, so ultimately this is what we're looking to do. So on this layer, we're going to have this piece kind of distanced the same way as that top piece. So we want it lined up like so. And then this layer here with our trees is going to go right behind it. And then with this part with our mountain, we're going to adhere this Highland Heather piece of designer series paper to our velvet white mountain. And then this is going to kind of tuck behind it. So it's going to be peeking out behind the trees. So now it's the part of actually kind of gluing all these pieces together and doing it in a way where it's going to be easy, not difficult. All right. So I'm going to bring in my liquid glue for this part. I'm going to add some on these pieces. All right. And then we'll line this up with the base of our velvet paper. And it will stick pretty well to this. All right, and then we want our trees to kind of poke above it a little bit, like so, because again, we got to have this situated where we're going to have, you know, enough room to put this where it needs to go. All right, so what I had done that kind of helped me a little bit to keep this lined up, where did I put them? They're right here. So these little clothespins kind of clip this all together to kind of hold it in place. So then that way it stays put while I try and get that part placed in behind it. And then once I got that placed down, then I can remove these and then put adhesive on this piece to cover it all up. All right, so for this one, I'm going to take this again. And we got our trees. Need some more glue. Okay, so get some more glue on this. Because we definitely want it on our trees, because these trees, the tops of these trees will definitely get caught on stuff if they're not adhered down. Okay, peel that up. Oh, I got adhesive on there, so I'm going to have to clean that up. All right, so my trees are going to poke up above those mountains ever so slightly. And it's not even. See, this is what I was saying, that it's kind of putsy. It's the lining everything up with it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is let me move that. So let me get my adhesive eraser. And I'm going to lightly go across this because it did pick up some of that dry glue from that silicone mat. Just being gentle with it. Okay. Now, now I'm going to take my adhesive, add some back here, and I'm hoping that you're not hearing the racket people are making out in the breezeway. Okay. Now I'm going to come in and move some things out of my way. I'll remove these ones on the side. I'll keep the ones down there. And then I'm going to bring this in. And I'm going to line it up. And it looks like it's a little bit longer. Okay. That looks good. And I got ink all over me. Okay, now that we got that down, let's get these out of the way. And now we'll add some adhesive to the back of this and adhere that over the top. And again, trying to come through my ceiling. I honestly don't know what this kid upstairs does, because Last night, by the time I went to bed, it was almost 3 o'clock in the morning, and carrying on in the bedroom right above me, jumping around, running around. It's like, shouldn't you be in bed? When does school start? Monday? All right, now I'm going to take this piece and lay this over the top like so. All right, adhesive. Why is this being very messy? Okay, and then we'll center this right here. I apologize if I seem like I'm a little bit annoyed. I am. They are very loud, and well, I'm not going to say parents, but the quote unquote adult supervision, yeah, there is none. And I mean, they're just very destructive. They're very loud, and they act like they're the only ones that live here. And there's other people, and we don't care to listen to this stuff. Oh my goodness. All right. So for this one, I'm going to be using the clear dots on this one. So again, 2 different sizes. We'll add our larger one there. We'll add one here. And then one right up in here. Okay, so this wasn't too bad, but yeah, it's off just a little bit. That probably needed to be trimmed down a little bit, but yeah, there's our second card. So the gorgeous grape and the balmy blue, they both go very well with that pattern of the paper. All right, there's our second one. So now our final one it's an easier card. It's kind of as easy as the first one that we did. Just has a little bit more. So it's kind of like an in-between of the 2 cards that we did. Now let me clean these stamps really quick so we don't get any ink on anything. And we're going to do some splattering again on this designer series paper for this card. So I'll kind of move everything out of the way. And let me get these again. Okay. Not doing too bad on time. That's good. All right. Okay. So our final card. Now this one was one that I found on Pinterest. This is a case off of a card that a French demonstrator had done. Her name escapes me. I don't remember what her name is, but I'll give credit. And of course, when she did her card, I did change it just a little bit because the greeting that she used on it is actually part of that ephemera pack that is on in the annual catalog, and I don't have those. And of course, she did hers in French, so but yeah, I'm not doing mine in French. So my card base is basic black, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4.25. I have a piece of basic white that's 5.25 by 4. That's going to be for our inside. Then another pattern of that designer series paper. This measures 5 3/8 by 4 1/8, and we're going to splatter on that piece. Then out of a scrap piece of basic black, actually this is 5 3/8 and about 2.5 inches. And then I die cut that small set of trees out of that. Out of a piece of blueberry bushel, this is about 5 3/8 by 1.5. And I had used this die here to die cut that. And then I have a piece of Balmy blue, 5 3/8 by about 1 inch. And then I had used the die. Where's that die? Where's that die? Excuse me. Did it not come out of the package? There is a die. Yes, it did not come out of the package. There's a die that's kind of like a snowdrift. And so I'm throwing things around. And then I had die cut that. So again, it's about, height wise, it's about like 1 inch. So I just cut like along the top there. So we have like our snowdrift. And then ahead of time, I had stamped Thinking of You using the Versamark ink, and then heat embossed with the white embossing powder, and then die cut it using the other small notes of texture dies. Now the Thinking of You, that came from a new stamp set called Friendly Foliage. I believe that this was online exclusive. So it does have like the set of dies to it, but I just used that greeting right there. Okay, now, so let's move all these other pieces out of the way. Let's move all that out of the way, because we know when we start splattering here, it's going to go everywhere. All right, watercolors. You can see what I'm doing. And I don't even have my paper down. We're not splattering that. You want to splatter that. Okay. I don't want water. Try it's going to work better. I want this to really kind of show. So again, I don't want to add too much water to this. I think that's good. That'll dry, and then you'll see those little specks a little bit easier. Okay, so let me move this out of the way, because we're done with that. And I'm going to do this just to kind of get anything that's wet off of it, so that way it doesn't smear when I go to place that on my card base. I'll move all that. Okay, so let's bring in our card base, and we'll fold and burnish that. Well, the trick, especially when it comes to embossing with white, a trick that I've learned, you don't want to keep too much heat on this, and I emboss it heat it from underneath. If you do it too long, what happens, it melts it too much, and then it kind of breaks up the letters a little bit because it kind of almost goes like clear. So yeah, it took a little bit of practice to kind of get it right. And the same thing I think with the clear embossing powder too, that if you use too much heat on it, then yeah, then that's where you have problems. All right, so I'm gonna take let me see, what did I do? Okay, we didn't. I'm just thinking of what I did on that card. I want to bring in my liquid glue. Yeah, that's because there's too much heat on it. That's why. I told myself on a do not buy DSP this year. I found a ton more that I forgot I had. Oh, Froggy. I got like so much designer series paper that I seriously like you really need to start doing things with it. I will tell you that those calendars, so a coworker of mine, she had asked me a couple of months ago about making calendars for her to give as teacher gifts. And so, she didn't have anything specific that she wanted, so she just kind of gave me, full reign on what I wanted, and what to use. And so, I don't know if you remember the paper, but did I not cut this right? Oh, wait a minute. No, no, it's got to go up. It's got to go up. Yeah, so it's got a little border towards the top because on the bottom here, we're going to add those other layers to it. So, yeah, so that's why it's a little bit shorter. So, all right. And what was I going to say? So there was paper that we had that was Celebration a few years ago, and it was the one that had like the water lilies on it, so all the colors were really, really bright. And so that's what I used on all of her calendars, and she loved them. So I'm like, okay, as long as you really, really like them, then that makes me happy. All right, so what do I want to do here? I want adhesive, but let me get my other silicone sheet so I'm not putting all of that dry glue on it. All right, so these pieces, yeah, I ended up with a couple of packages of those. So yeah, I got a lot. All right, so I am going to take this Balmy blue piece. I'm going to add some glue like towards the top of this. Okay, and then I'm going to layer this like so. Oh, you shifted too much. Okay, and then for my trees, this is going to layer right behind this. So I want it to be about there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my seal. I'm going to try and use my seal. It's acting very weird. It's like it's not running the way it should, and it keeps on wanting to, that cellophane that it's on, it wants to keep, I don't know what, it's acting weird. All right. Then I'm going to take this and I'm going to kind of line this up like so. Okay, and then this whole thing we're going to put down, but I'm going to use the glue again on this, so that way we're holding the treetops down. So let me bring that one in again and kind of rub some of this glue off of this spot here. Now another thing you can use, I use like clear packing tape. I'll just tear off a piece and press it on here, and it'll pull up all of this dry glue. I just want that out of the way. Okay, so we want more. More glue. I'm going to put some over. Okay, and then let's get our brush. Okay, and I think we can add a little bit down here just to hold this whole thing down. Okay, so now let's get that out of the way and bring in our card base. And then I'm going to line this up right down on the bottom, so giving that really small border down here as well. Press that all down. Okay. Now I got adhesive all over my hands. All right, so let's move that out of the way. Now I'm going to bring in, actually, let's go and take this piece and let's put this inside of our card. All right, now we're going to bring in that ribbon. So let me see, where did I put the ribbon? There it is, right there. Okay, and then let's see what else we need. Dimensional. So I'm going to actually bring in some black ones since we're using the black cardstock. And I'm going to take my greeting, I'm going to add some seal to the back of this, like so. And then for my ribbon, so I have an end that's already cut at an angle. So I'm going to add my greeting. I'm going to kind of like zigzag this on the back here. Kind of come out a little bit with it. Okay, and then let me get my ribbon scissors. And this ribbon, it will fray those ends. So you want to be careful when you're kind of pulling on it that you don't tug too much or it'll start fraying. Okay, so we want that kind of showing, poking out from behind it. Now I'm going to add a few dimensionals to the back of this. And then this thinking of you is gonna do that even. That is gonna go right down here like so. Okay, and then for this one, I'm going to use the Balmy blue dots on this one. These are definitely very, very pretty. I like these. Definitely need to get a few more of these before they're completely gone, especially now that they are discounted. All right, and then 2 more. And then put one right there. Okay. So there we go. There is our third card using the Lights of Aurora suite. So using a little bit of everything from the whole suite, needed to find something to do with the ribbon. So here is our third card. Again, added some splatter of that white shimmer watercolor paint. And then here is, I would have to say this was the putziest card of the night. So again, the paper just really does so much for this. And then I did the shadows of the reflection of those die cut trees into the water. And then our first card, very simple. Again, paper does all the talking on this. I just simply had a black cardstock die cut this larger tree image and then did my greeting and then just put it all, just went all together, and it's just really, really pretty. Very simple, very pretty. Okay, so I'm going to put these right here for a moment. I am going to tidy up this desk area because it is one big hot mess. I do have linked up, most of you probably already have seen it. I do have linked up at the top wow, this is all wonky. At the top of the chat box, the link to take you to the Google spreadsheet to add your name if you would like to be in tonight's drawing for one of these cards. It doesn't matter if you are outside of the US. I can mail cards anywhere in the world. I just can't send product. And yeah, there's like stuff all over the place, and I need to make some room so I can bring my laptop in. Wow. It gets messy very quickly. Let me get this water out of the way. We don't want to knock that over. We did really good on time, too. Good, good, good. Oh, wait, excuse me? That is not what you said earlier. Or was that last night when you said that? Oh, I definitely want to be in the in that drawing. Uh-huh. Okay. I see how you roll, Yvonne. I see how you roll. Get this stuff, the messy, messy stuff. Get it out of the way. Messy, messy. This is going to be fun cleaning up. Let's just move that where I won't stick my hand in it. And if you have any problems at all trying to get your name on that spreadsheet, just say something in the chat box and we will get your name added to it. Yvonne doesn't want airmail. I guess not. She doesn't want me throwing anything at her. Yeah, so like I mentioned at the beginning, uh, this suite, basically everything on with this suite is on the last chance list except for the designer series paper. Everything else is kind of discounted. Now, typically when they put the stamp set and the set of dies on, when they've marked it down, usually it's a better deal than purchasing the actual bundle item number where you'll get a 10% discount. When I kind of calculated it earlier, it's actually a 5-cent difference. You'd be paying 5 cents more if you had purchased them separately. So actually the bundle is a little bit, that's not how that goes. How's that go? Maybe I got it upside down. I don't know. We're just going to take these. We're going to put them all right here. I always hated these cardboard pieces that that had that tape on it. I hate that tape. But of course, to do magnets, you know, these things would end up getting so heavy. I do have a lot of set of dies. A lot of them, you know, are retired. But okay, so how are we doing as far as getting the names on the sheet? Let's see what we got here. And again, the PDF, I do have this all done. It's out there on my Google Drive. And again, that link is just above the list of supplies. If you like the projects and you would like to recreate any of them. And again, this right here is the link that will take you right back to this video. All right, so I don't think Sharon wants to be like striked out. Okay, so we have Tracy, Terry, Froggy, Becky, Sharon, and Carol. Is there anybody else? Do we got everybody? Is Andrea still here? If you're still here, Andrea, would you like to be added? Well, would you like to be added, Andrea? I haven't added the names to that wheel yet. So you still have an opportunity. Just let me know if you'd like to be added. Okay. All right. So final, we got Tracy, Terry, Froggy, Becky, Sharon, and Carol. Okay, so let's take all these names and let's add them to the wheel. Okay, and then let me go ahead and bring my laptop in. Let's move these lights out of the way, because we know what happens. It puts a big glare on the screen. So let me put these cards kind of like where you could see them. So 1, 2, and 3. All right. Okay, Andrea, thanks for joining us tonight. And talk to you later, hon. All right. So I got all of the names added. So let's go ahead and spin the wheel. Becky. So which one would you like? 1, 2, or 3? Number 3? Okay. All right. I'll move this out of the way so I can get to the tab. All right. Our next card. Tracy. First, let me get over here. So would you like card number 1 or card number 2? Number 2, okay. And then our final card, our easy peasy card. And that will go to Sharon. Congratulations to all our winners. Okay, let me kind of move this out of the way and we'll wrap this all up. So again, if you missed the very beginning, I'm gonna give it a try for at least the month of January at doing the live at 6 p.m. rather than 7 Central Time. I do want to make mention now. I didn't see Deborah on here, and I don't see Cynthia. Last Friday, I did notice that when I went to kind of shut things down and kind of tidy up after the live was over, that I noticed that Cynthia had added her name to the spreadsheet. She made a mention in the comments that when she came on, then she noticed that the video went to private and she wasn't able to see it. And I think Deborah kind of said the same thing. So what happens when you do a YouTube live, even though when I have it scheduled, you see it out there and it's public. But what happens, and I don't know why YouTube does this, soon as I hit stop to end the live, YouTube takes that live and they put it as private. So I have to go and change it to public. So it was really a timing thing because at the time when you saw that it was private, I it was just before I had flipped it to show public. So that's what happened there. It really was a timing thing. Even like when you added your name to the spreadsheet, I had already pulled the names, added it to the wheel, and again, I didn't see it until after when everything was all said and done. So that's what happens when I end my lives. YouTube does put the lives as private, but then right away I go in and I'll flip it to public so then you can rewatch it if you missed part of it or if you missed all of it. So that is all I have for tonight. Next Thursday, I'm using that Builder Blossom stamp set, that standalone one. Um, so yeah, Thursday will be this one here, the Builder Blossoms. That'll be Thursday. And then on Friday, I'm going to do a couple of projects using the 12 Days of Crafting Advent calendar, which the calendar, it's still available. It's not on low inventory. It's not discounted either. So with that, everyone, I hope you had a wonderful New Year, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. Have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy doing whatever it is that you want to do for the weekend. I don't know exactly. Oh, yeah, I got to clean the church tomorrow. But my plan is we're going to continue to do some more crafting. Yvonne's been really enjoying doing diamond painting projects, and I'm going to try and get some of that in as well. So, again, thank you everyone for joining me. Have a blessed one, and I will see you next Friday. Bye bye.